What attracted you to the role of Sidewinder?
I was attracted to having the ability to work with some excellent filmmakers who make these kinds of movies. This movie is not only action packed and a geopolitical thriller that is a ride and a half, it also is a film that allows you to think a little bit about human relationships. And for me, Sidewinder was someone that I had to research going back to the comic and realizing what his background was before. Very intelligent man who goes to the darker side of things, which is also always an interesting character for me. But someone who is physical, who may have his roots as a mercenary. He may have been paramilitary, and he knows how to do things and knows how to get what he needs to get. And so those are some of the elements that attracted me to this guy. I also wanted to be able to play with Anthony Mackie as the new Captain America in Sam Wilson. Someone who I think is just so adept and has such integrity in relationship to what he does in regard to playing this role, but someone that we've seen grow through this different incarnations of Captain America he's played, and now we want to see him take over the top spot.
You touched on this a little bit. What motivates Sidewinder and how did you approach playing him?
Well, I approached it first through what was written on the page. Is it someone who is hiding something, maybe not only working for himself, maybe working in tandem or in concert with someone else, but someone who also has a stake in what we're looking for. And so our film, we deal with a lot of natural elements and minerals in our film that are important to our story finally revealed. And so for me, I began there and I looked back at the comic to get, information about, what kind of human being this might be, and then how to extend this character in between the words that I was given to make him interesting.
You mentioned doing some research. What kind of research did you do for the character?
Oh, I read some comics. I looked up Seth Voelker. I found out we were the exact same weight, 158 pounds. I looked at how he was dressed and what colors he had. I mean, the comic is a little bit, a lot different, possibly, than what we see. But there was a grounded nature of this character coming from an intellectual background that I liked a lot. And then so take that human being and have him train himself to become a lethal weapon became an important idea for me to nurture while I was working on this particular character.
What was your experience working with director Julius Onah?
I like Julius quite a bit. And when I had ideas, when his character came to me, I was in Mexico City. And so being the head of the Serpent Society is only the head of the Serpent Society, right? It's just words on paper. But I was in Mexico City where they happened to have a great reverence for the snake. And so, as an actor who works on a level of being inspired, not only by the elements that go into making a character, the snake became an element for me in how I move and how I would create the kind of stealth attitude in my mind that Sidewinder has. That inspiration extended to Julius, who is a very good director, and I would say about to be a great director after you see this film, because it's about timing. And so, my inspiration came from Julius in regard to his adjustments in timing. I'm an actor who has played music and uses a metronome, played the saxophone and the piano. Everything is in its own time. And I have my own timing on the set. And so Julius had very simple ways of allowing Anthony and I to either pick up the pace, drop the pace, or think of it as a cat and mouse game. And when you think of something as cat and mouse, you got to think you like the guy you're working with. You like the actor. So it's not I'm just going to come at him and I want to kill him. It's that his personality I'm taking in. And so Julius, welcomed the attitude that I had in that regard. And so you'll see that the chemistry happens within that. The chemistry between Anthony Mackie and Danny Ramirez happens within that hierarchy where he's the captain, but Danny has talent too, and they share an equal idea that obviously they're on the same side, but your strength is in computers, but he can also do this, and your strength is here, but he can also do this. So those elements of our film are cultivated by the genius of Julius Onah in welcoming them to come about. Also, directors who are only set on etched in stone, as he's one of the writers as well, to have things said a certain way, but always searching for how to say it better, are directors I really like, because that means they're loose. Maybe try to say this. Maybe try to say this. This works better. This works. That works. All within a couple of takes, so you can nail it and move on.
How would you rate your first experience being in a Marvel studio production, and what impressed you most?
I'd rate it as being over the moon. Terrifically exciting. One of the top movies I've ever made, with a team as full of integrity and creativity as this Marvel team.